Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for August 10th, 2021, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Grasping on the identities created by our minds will only bring us suffering. Labeling ourselves as someone who is somebody or has something limits our perception of reality. And the truth is that we are this divine infinite being who cannot be defined. And we are none of these labels. We are limitless, more vast than we could possibly imagine. So drop the identities and rejoice in the boundless presence that you are. We are not any of those things. Everything is a reflection. This world is our mirror. The world is our mirror, and our mind is a magnet. And what we perceive in this world is largely a reflection of our own attitudes and beliefs. Michael LaBeouf. This world is a beautiful mirror that is always reflecting ourselves back to us. What we see happening in our outer world is a representation on a deeper level of what is going on somewhere in our inner world. If we are overflowing with love for our fellow man, vibrating love with every cell in our bodies, we will experience people who are feeling this love, and their love is reflected back towards us. On the other hand, if we all see in our outer world is disharmony, aggression, and fighting, then there must be an inner battle happening deeper inside us. We may wonder why we have been seeing reflections in the outer mirror that at first glance do not seem to be in alignment with our inner world and how we are truly feeling. The truth of who we are is discovered in the reflection and our response to it. It is important to remember that each reflection that we don't like is pointing to an imbalance in our being around some specific wound from our past. For example, someone may continue to be belligerent with you while you are constantly being super nice, helpful, and loving with them. If you inquire deeper into this, you will eventually notice that somewhere in your past, you were treating yourself with a deeper disrespect that was not healed. A loving person lives in a loving world. A hostile person lives in a hostile world. Everyone we meet is our mirror. Ken Keyes. When that wound is healed within you, they will change their actions toward you. This is the miracle and power of seeing the great mirror. And sure, we may try to be super loving with everyone, yet only when we have found a lovable, peaceful quality within every part of our being will stop manifesting negative responses from people. Never take anything too personally. Our lives are not about pleasing our egos. The great mirror of life, this life, may send these unloving messages as a way of waking us up and freeing us from our egos to discover the divine, all-powerful, loving beings that we all truly are. We are, all of us, 100% responsible for whatever we love or loathe about ourselves. And we have the power to change it. Once we see something in our outer world that we desire, get curious about how this is showing up inside us and what our most enlightened response is to it. But take a closer look at the health of your inner psyche to see the positive shifts you get to make in your outer world. Right now, notice what's going on within your inner climate. What is it like? What do you love about yourself and want to keep? And what part would you like to change? A real famous quote from Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. Remember that shaming yourself or others for what you see inside only causes you to play the victim role and become more disempowered. The blame-shame game keeps us from healing those deeper wounds inside that are causing this unhealthy aspect inside of each and every one of us in the first place. We can shift this energy easily. Simply become that creative master with your mind. In other words, you're directing the mind, remember, not at you. Make the conscious decision to practice gentleness with yourself no matter what you see. Constantly be that person you'd want to meet on the road, and very soon the grand mirror will reflect this love back to you. You can start today to transcend any situation in your outer world by shifting your inner terrain. It simply takes remaining at a high enough vibration, and that's absolutely crucial. A high enough vibration where you can bring a sense of lightness into those wounded parts that need healing. Now, if you have trouble embodying this kind of energy and you want to start seeing this new life in front of you, it is guaranteed you raise your vibrational frequency so that you tend to attract positive situations, an abundance of money, amazing health, positive energy, high vibrational people, successful outcomes, and healthy, enlightening relationships. This is a deeply personal, life-transforming experience that we can instantly access whenever we choose. So understand that it all boils down to this. How we view ourselves, how we think of ourselves, how we believe in ourselves is what makes everything change on this planet. If you're in low vibrational frequency, it's easy to do. It's easy to go in low vibrational frequency, and sometimes we're so used to it, we don't know we're in it. So low vibrational frequency is when you worry, stress, and fear. You become angry, irritated, and we're all engulfed in this. None of us are exempt from it. So there's not, you for yourself determine what your vibrational frequency is going to be no matter what. Even though you commit to that, you will still have challenges where you will be literally challenged and tested by the universe on a continual basis on how true you are to your own convictions of who and what you are, and how you will maintain those high vibrational frequencies, no matter what is happening around you. No matter how many disappointments, no matter how many things that occur, it is all about how you maintain your vibrational frequency. And it's not easy, and I think we've all experienced that. It isn't a piece of cake where we can just shift gears that easily. When we're under stress and we have a lot of things happening, it's difficult because our frequencies automatically go down when we're challenged with certain things. And that's the challenge, to stay in a high vibrational frequency no matter what. And a lot of people will say, well, that's not that easy to do that. It's because, I've got this going on, I've got that going on, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. And we're talking with no expectations and no attachments. That's another toughie. Because when you actually say to yourself, no expectations and no attachments, what you're looking at is that you really have to let go of it. And it's easy to get attached to it. So when you try to let go of it, it's really difficult, so you keep hanging on to it. You want to be attached to it. And that's tough for a lot of people. You just have to just surrender it. Let it go. Don't give it any more attention, and just let it pass by. Concentrate on the now, which balances you in the now, rather than being shot into, several days into the future, worrying about then, worrying about now, then. It becomes very confusing for people. So it's literally saying to yourself that you're going to not have attachments or expectations is one thing, but actually practicing it is another. Whenever our frequencies drop, we are susceptible and open and exposed to all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. It's common knowledge. Just like when you start feeling yourself get angry or anxious or irritated or stressed. What is it that's causing you to feel that way? Maybe numerous situations through your life that have had similar outcomes. And so when that you realize is that that's where you focus on the now. You must stay in the now to keep the ego mind out of you, so that it's not in you, and so that you're watching it, so that it's just stuff that doesn't happen. You don't fall into that trap of the ego mind. The doom and gloom and the worry and the stress and the fear and anxiety. Those are all low vibrational frequencies. So we pick an area that we can focus on, which is in the now, and go into deep gratitude for everything, no matter what's happening. This is a practice that a lot of the Buddha and many of the others practiced, was to not attach themselves to the outer world. Didn't mean they didn't live in it, okay? Didn't mean that they didn't eat food, sustain, so on and so forth. They just didn't participate in it with expectations and attachments. So the physical world is something that we created, whether consciously or unconsciously. So we created this world that we're in by our vibrational frequencies and our intents. Now we're shifting so that the vibrational frequencies have lifted to a certain extent on this planet where everything is being revealed. All the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies are being revealed. They can't hide. They're the same. It's just now that they aren't shielded or hide. They aren't hidden. They're out in the open. And this is going to be the case for a very long time. So any debauchery or finagling or misrepresentation or maneuvering, dishonesty is going to be front and center. It will be revealed. True intents will be revealed. People say things, but they for some reason it doesn't click, and they just don't follow through with it. And when that happens, you have to maintain your vibrational frequency of a high frequency, and just go into deep gratitude 24/7. The deep gratitude is absolute for all of us. It doesn't matter if you have a dime in your pocket. Deep gratitude. Deep gratitude for waking up, or deep gratitude for your breath. Deep gratitude for your body and your arms, your legs, your hands, and everything. And that puts you into a whole different frequency on receiving from the universe on what you request from the universe. But if this is how it works. You could be floating along and then drop your energies. Something instigates it, whatever. So as your energy, your frequencies drop, then the universe gives you all of that lower frequency. When you have higher frequencies, the universe gives you higher frequencies. See what I mean? Now, it's easier said than done, because it's being able to understand that and practice it 24/7. It's easy to practice it when things are good. It isn't that easy to practice it when things aren't so good, because we have a tendency to be swept off into this turmoil. And it's easy to get engaged with the turmoil currently on this planet. But those who keep low vibrational frequencies that their intents aren't cemented, and then you'll run into this where people will vacillate. Their intentions won't stay. They'll slip, and the whole time you've got to stay centered and focused on the now and in deep gratitude. That's what's changing this planet. higher vibrational frequencies, not something from out there, something from inside all of us, is what's changing this planet. And why things are being revealed so blatantly and openly in front of everybody. So, in this meditation, focus the moment to moment on that, and the understanding is to be in the now, to be in deep gratitude 24/7, and to maintain high vibrational frequencies. And I think we know the high vibrational frequencies. And it's all about you putting yourself into that frequency. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be, interrupted. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. Paramount. You can be relaxed all day if you choose to be. And relaxing the body is about you stepping outside the body, the God that you are. And you see all of this stuff that the body has literally magnetized to it. Stresses, worries, fears, anxieties, everything. And it doesn't serve the greater good. Doesn't serve the greatest good. Doesn't really serve anything. But we're so habitual beings that that's what we do. We carry it, and we carry it, and we carry it. We get so used to carrying it, we don't know we're carrying it. So we let it go. It's all about freeing the body from stress, anxiety, fear, worry, suffering. And the only ones that can do that are you. You are the only one that can do that with your body. Naturally. And when we understand that about ourselves, we gear towards it. You don't care to have demons possess you, attachments come at you, all kinds of things that we literally have created through our ego minds. And so it's just, I choose to be a higher frequency of deep gratitude. I choose to keep my body free from all of these illusions that weigh it down. So to determine, you just get rid of it. You just surrender it. You give it up. All of it. And the body responds by just being real light. And one of the easiest ways to visualize this is we have a choice. All of us have a choice. All of us. We are going to fight the current in a boat with oars. We're going to fight that current through this whole life. Fight it. Grimacing, stressing, pain, so on and so forth. Or we're going to get in the boat and go downstream with the current and have the current take us wherever it may. That's the key to this life. Letting go and just letting everything take its course and just have trust and faith in the universe and yourself and let it go. All of it. All the worry, all the stress, all the fear, all the anxiety, wondering. And you just float down that river, that current's going to take you somewhere. You don't have any oars. You really don't care. You're just going to float down the river. And you'll know the feeling when you really do let go, is you'll feel it in your gut and you'll feel it in your heart. It'll be a release. And you just won't worry anymore. Some of us have it because of past experiences, but we forget it. We don't really practice it. We forget about it. But when you really let go and you're going downstream in that boat with no oars and you don't have a care in the world and you're not concerned where you're going, then you will understand what freedom truly is. So only when we attach ourselves, this is why the body gets so stressed out. All this stuff in this material world, this physical world, weighs us down, and we're the only ones that can rectify it. And you know it because the body becomes very light, and it's not thinking, and it's not worrying, stressing, or fearing, and it is totally at peace, just at being, a beingness, not acting, not doing anything, but just being in the now. And that's when the body relaxes. It is in the now. And the breath is the now. Our breath is the now. It cannot be yesterday, and it cannot be tomorrow. It's always the now. When we focus on our breath, we're in the now. Every single time, because we're focused on the breath, which means we're in the now. Now, when we don't focus on our breath, we end up wandering off in thoughts that aren't ours, which are programmed thoughts. So those thoughts wander off. And we wander off with them. But when we know to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves, and we know when we float out of the now, we focus on our divine positive energy, our breath, and we're in the now. And it is all we have. There isn't a future. We're creating the future in the now. There isn't such thing as a past. It's all dead nows. It's history. You either learned or didn't, and you have these memories that you keep in the subconscious mind library, and every now and then you visit them, you smile, and you enjoy, but then you move on. You know, some of us we go into a past. We reminisce. We leave it. It's fun. Some of us, though, will stay there forever because to them it's more pleasant to live in the past than it is in the now. So then they end up staying there so long that they take that past into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past, and they relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people wonder to themselves why we just, we no matter what we do, we always end up here. Why is that? Why does that happen? Now, some of us will go into the future. Now, we know the future doesn't exist because we haven't created it. And then we wonder, and we can't figure out why this hasn't happened and that hasn't happened, and why I haven't gotten that job promotion, why don't I have more money, and what's going on here and there. And what happens is that we suffer. Whenever you step into the future that doesn't exist, we suffer. We gain expectations and attachments. It isn't easy at times to keep and maintain kind of a melancholy let-go attitude where you just, whatever happens, happens. It reminds you of the old Doris Day song, Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not for me not to see. Que sera, sera. And that basically is this life. We either choose to attach and expect or let go and flow. Attach and expect or let go and flow. Those are the two areas. And it's up to us to choose whatever one we choose. And then we ride with that. And no matter how much the ego mind tries to trick you into believing that, go in the future, you got the past, you don't need to be in the now. Because it knows that in the now, it's not needed. And this is all about learning about being in these bodies and what that means, and also who and what we are. And really, truly, deeply discovering that we are not these bodies. We are not our names. We are not our personalities. We're none of this. So by staying in the now, knowing that we have divine positive energy, our breath, soul comes into the body, powers up the body starts to operate, the lungs function, and then air or oxygen is generated. So the soul generates the body so that the body can sustain the soul through the divine positive energy of breath. So we look at this body that's totally relaxed, it's not thinking, it's outside the ego and the mind, and it's just floating, being. And we notice in the body that there are these energy vortexes. Some people call them chakras. And they run from the tailbone all the way up to the head, top of the head. These are where you and I, the gods that we are in these bodies, flow. It's how we maneuver in the body. And it's attached to all emotions, all organs, everything. Because the God flows through everything. So we understand that these energy vortexes, these energy wheels, play an important role. They're very, very important to us to understand what the heck they are and why do we have them and why are they there? Well, if you look at the root chakra, the red wheel of light sets right on the tip of your tailbone. This is the root chakra, which is the body's survival. Not the God's survival, the body's survival. And what that means is food, clothing, shelter, water, money. And that goes along, but then fear comes in through the ego mind, and we embrace the fear, and we bring it into reality, and it stops our survival. You can have a whole bunch of us out in the middle of nowhere, relying on each other to survive, and if any of us begin to panic, usually they're the ones that will leave the body. Then we move to the orange wheel of light, which is the sacral chakra. This is our pleasure. These bodies, the pleasure, the happiness, the joy. When everything's running right, it just feels good. There's no interruptions, there's no anxieties or fears. It's just an even, nice, wonderful flow. And that's our natural state of being. That's why we enjoy it so much. But then the ego mind gets involved, and we have this feeling where we just don't deserve to have this much fun and enjoy this much of this life. That we start feeling what? Guilty to enjoy our lives. We start feeling that. And eventually it sabotages that, and it ends. It's convinced us so much that some of us will say, I know this isn't going to last forever, so I better enjoy it while I can. It's absurd how we've been trained to live in the material world outside of ourselves. That's why all this happens. So then we move to the yellow wheel of light, the solar plexus chakra, and this is our willpower. It's our determination, our commitment, and that's blocked by shame. So our determination, our willpower is blocked by shame. Shame's an illusion. It's because we don't know who and what we are. It's the same, we go to the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra. It's our ability to love. And then grief comes in, another illusion, because we don't know who and what we are, and it blocks our ability to love. We go to the throat chakra, the blue wheel of light. This deals with our truth, and it's blocked by our lies. And then we move to the indigo wheel of light, the third eye chakra. This is our insight, intuition, perspective, so on and so forth. And it's blocked by illusion. And finally, we go to the crown chakra, the violet wheel of light. This is our direct connection to the divine. It's bliss, joy, peace. And it is blocked by ego attachment. The ego generates us to be attached to things. And it's never enough because we're always attaching to things. And the ego is never satisfied, ever. It will never, ever be satisfied no matter what. That's why we have this push, this urge, constantly pushing us, pushing us, pushing us. Got to do this, got to do that, got to be this, got to be here, got to do this, got to do that. Pushing, 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 pushing. Getting, having. And it never ends. And I think all of us innately know that this never ends. This is the ego. This is what's going on with me. My ego mind is out of control, and it's driving me in all these different directions. And I'm freely just going with it. So we bring our energy, the gods that we are at the top of the heads of these bodies, along with the divine positive energy, the breath. And we sit there briefly. We are one. We are love. We are God. And then we compress ourselves into pure liquid energy, and we release ourselves over the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is very important to us while we're in these bodies, because when it's fully healthy and vibrating and healthy and clean, it connects us to all the particles of existence, all the realms, all the planes, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Any of us that think that this little planet is our containment for eternity don't know who and what they are. So you can see your pineal gland through your heart, mind's motion picture, however you want to view it. I see it as a green ball rosebud. And as soon as I pour my energy, my God energy, over that, it immediately transforms to a massive rose, fully bloomed, with multicolored petals, a wonderful fragrance, and it's shimmering out this mist of highly charged energy that just blends into me. And it just blends in, and it feels absolutely magna-glorious, wonderful. And it's so deep that the love, the gratitude, the peace is so deep, it is so complete, and it saturates me. And it's like you're in nirvana. It's just everything. You're not in the outside world. You're not in the material world. You're with the God. And you discover that this rose is the God. And you, the God, are the rose. It's a reflection of who you and what you really are. And we know these bodies. We know that the heart mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind, the higher self, the soul, the spirit, God, the pure consciousness. One. Remember, God's a label. It's a name, right? And what do you think God really describes? What do you think the God source really is? Consciousness, pure consciousness. That's what it is. That's what's in these bodies, not the brain. None of it. Pure consciousness is housed in these bodies. The God, the all-knowing, all-seeing, divine perfection, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And we're all part of that. We've been taught to be separate. We are not. We've been taught that the God is outside of us. It is not. Everything that we've been taught that's outside of us is a complete bold-faced lie. There will be those who will cling to their religions. That's their decision and prerogative. But they're clinging to false. All the things they've been taught are a lie. And it's our journey, and it's in a good way that we discover this, because then we start to figure out just exactly what we are in these bodies. We are concerned about the external reality, attachments, expectations. We are working on with the gods that we are for full discovery. Now, there's parts of us that are awake to a certain extent. There are other parts of us that are completely asleep. I mean, really deep sleep. Now, we know that we are heaven on earth because the soul enters the body, the soul is the heaven, and the body is the earth. And those of us who are aware know that every step we take, we're creating paradise. Not only that, we also learn to shine our light outward 360 degrees, continuously. And this is the God Force Love Light Energy. It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And it's flooding this planet. We flood this planet 24/7. Our light shines out. It touches all of the gods in all of the bodies of the planet. It's endless. And as this continues, the awareness of this with this civilization continues, the more it will expand, the more it will grow, the more it will affect the very existence of this civilization planet in a much higher vibrational frequency. So we have a God planet paradise that we're building, forming, and a new earth that glows with the light of the God. And it's so bright that there's just nothing in this universe that comes close to it. Now, we obviously, we call out to parts of ourselves that are awake to a certain extent. Because if we were at a full understanding, we wouldn't be in these bodies. We wouldn't need them. So we call upon, like all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, including this planet. Yet, only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming this circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. Now, they come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this entire universe with not even a square inch of sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes in every direction. And the ones on this planet that we're kind of familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Now, because the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of one is. So that's why so many we don't see, in all shapes, color, sizes, forms, and configurations. And in the gigaplexes, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. Yet, only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Ones that we're somewhat familiar with are the Sirians, the Pleiadians, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, the Feline, the Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Abians, and many, many, many more. Now, they've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And in the trillions, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet. And in the billions, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. And in the billions, they are with us now consciously. All the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Hell, God, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. Now the archangels, both of them, ascended masters and archangels, are only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet. Now, the archangels are a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But they are there, and we do interact with them, and we do meet them throughout this life and all lives. It doesn't dawn on us till usually after the interaction, and then we experience a little bit of bliss, as we know that was an angel. And they all have the same message, they just deliver it in many different ways. It all boils down to one thing. Isn't it magna-glorious, absolutely spectacular and wonderful to be alive in these bodies? And that is bliss. Now, they can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands because of their vibrational frequency. They can house a large number in a small area. The ascended masters have mastered ascension into physical form, out of physical form, hold of pure God form, pure consciousness. We have ascended into physical form to master physical form, to create our experiences, to perfect our creation. And we're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light is emitted from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every one of us. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brilliance. This is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love. And we are flooding this planet, all of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest supreme value in the universes, right now, 24/7, never ending, infinity, eternal. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with a massive ocean of glitter. Now, it's everywhere, and we see trillions of multicolored, vibrantly reflective lighting flashing everywhere. Over 1 billion of us gathered on and off world, flashing everywhere. In us, around us, through us, above us, below us. And we see the reflective source of these little tiny microscopic etched mirrors. So we enter those mirrors. We enter them. And we discover that all of us are teachers and students. All of us are, of each other. No matter who enters your life, there's always a teaching or learning going on. Always. Whether it's even a brief moment or a long term, we're always learning and teaching and learning. Learning and teaching and learning from each other. We always have, we always will, ever, beyond, and forever. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we all created to remind us that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the purple, blue, flaming, violet healing light of Archangel Raphael. And this reminds us and heals us to understand that we are omnipotently powerful and strong and have powerful resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are completely protected 24/7. This light emanates from the God Force Love Light energy within each and every single one of us. It's impenetrable. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no demon attachments, no attachments of any kind whatsoever. They can't. That frequency can't touch us when our vibrational frequency is held permanently in a high ascending level. So we're constantly protected 24/7. This is an armor. This white fire armor is beyond tank's armor, beyond anything on this planet. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, anger, fear, anxiety, stress, worry, envy, hurriedness, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with 2 columns of light that we created. The first one is the purple transmuting flame. The second one is the violet ray. They work hand in hand. Purple transmuting flame reminds us that we can bring it in. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they're absorbed and they are no more ever. We then have the violet ray. This is a column of light that we created to remind us we can bring it in right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can literally cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, and restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high and the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the pure of the purest purest, eternal. We are then met by the golden pink white light. This is the column of light that we created to remind ourselves that we are the sunsets. The sun rises, we are the sun and the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We're the soils. We're the mountains. We're the ocean fronts. The starry lit night skies, clouds, the sky, everything. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you're looking at a sunset or sunrise or rainbow, it is you that's the beauty. It is you that's the divineness, the joy, the bliss, the majesty. It's you. It's all of us. Always has been. Always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It is us. Now we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form to hover effortlessly above the bodies, if we're carrying a body. And why do we do this? Well, because we can. We come immediately in contact with a massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's huge. It's larger than a solar system. In the center of it, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light. Now, it's surrounded by numerous rings of multicolored lights. The golden white bowl is sending out massive waves, misty waves of glittering energy that just saturate us, of pure, deep, eternal love. And then we have pure, deep, eternal gratitude, pure, deep, eternal peace, well-being, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, great wealth, joy, bliss. It's endless. And it is us and the gods that we are. At the top of the Crystalline Tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 24/7, 360 degrees, as it's doing right now with all of us, head to toe, inside and out. The highest of the highest, deepest, purest eternal love. Divine perfection, flooding all of us, inside and out, head to toe. Infinity, eternally. All life, the highest spring valley in the universe, all of our brothers and sisters, everything. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. And we hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops. Drops are the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We all created this sphere over 3.5 years ago. We have been gathering in these meditations daily for the last over 3.5 years. Every day. 7 days a week. Over 1 billion of us now, continuing to expand on and off world. We hold over 1,500 meditations in perpetual motion, flooding us all 24/7, inside and out, above and below, with the highest of the deepest eternal love and gratitude and peace. You can see it. That's why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. This world is a mirror of us. It is our responsibility to understand that. Choose to. That this world is a reflection of us. And how we perceive things. How we view things. How long do we stay in lower vibrational frequency compared to how long do we stay in higher vibrational frequency? I join you in meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Remember that sharing ourselves or others for what we see inside only causes us to play the victim role and become more disempowered. The blame-shame game keeps us from healing those deeper wounds inside that are causing this unhealthy aspect inside us in the first place. We can shift this energy easily. Simply become that creative master with your minds. Make this a conscious decision to practice gentleness with yourselves, no matter what you see. Constantly be that person you'd want to meet on the road, and very soon the grand mirror will reflect this love back to you. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the fall morning. We will return here August 11th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. tomorrow night with the Time for Change call.